Hey, come here and tell me what you think of this. If I should go closer to the ball or not. But I think I'm good because of where the chains are going to have to be.
Yeah, that looks good.
I didn't want to be closer because I want the chains to have good access.
Yeah, that looks good right there.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do then.
All right.
See, you use safety glasses. Nice welds. That's it. Now the trailer plug won't fall anymore. Now, I was just doing that repair while I was here. Ta-da! Okay, what we are doing here today is we're going to be doing the rear brake pads on this 2007 2500 HD Classic. This is the early 2007 body style. And we tried to do this the other day and found out the last person who had done brakes on this had stripped the caliper bolts on it, so the caliper bolts won't actually come out. So what we're going to do, in their Torx 55, and what I'm going to do is weld an actual nut to the back of the bolt and then get a wrench and break it loose that way. So anyway, this is a repair to fix a repair. And then we'll do the brakes. The prior owners of this truck before me was a fleet service. I won't say their names. They actually took pretty good care of the truck, but certain things like this are a little bit off. Just to verify, yes, it's a T55 Torx. Seems like I got the top one loose, but barely. And it's stripped, but I kind of got it at an angle and got it. The bottom one I could not get at all. And I tried several different tricks, hammering it into it, which a hammer onto the nut itself sometimes will squish the top of it so that it'll re-give you at least one bite to get it out with. And it'll also impact the threads that might be rusted stuck. But that didn't work either. A couple machinist tricks. So we're going to weld a nut to it, which is another machinist trick. Alright, grinder hooked up, and I'm going to grind the top of this bolt so that I got some good material to weld to. And then I'm going to weld a nut to it and see what we get. Here's your safety glasses when you're grinding or using the death wheel. Yep. I'm pretty confident I can get the top one out again, but if not, I'll weld a nut to it as well. Okay, I popped the hood on the truck, invented taking the brake cap off because I've got to pry against the brake rotor and the brake pad, which you normally wouldn't do this, except for that this thing is metal to metal, so it's not going to hurt anything. Just don't hurt your caliper. Here's that bolt that I welded the nut to. Not beautiful, but it worked. Okay, I've prepped the bolt that I used to get the rounded off internal Torx T55 bolt. I welded a nut to it. Now I'm actually going to make it a permanent fixture. I'm going to finish welding this up and then regrind it down and make sure a 19 millimeter box end wrench will fit it. I'm going to do it to 2 bolts so that I can get to the upper bolts that are in between the actual spring pack and the caliper itself, because you can't get a socket and a ratchet inside there. So I'm going to make it a nut so that I can get an actual wrench on it. Anyway, so doing some repairs and then doing some repairs on top of that. Ground this one down, fit another nut, same exact nut that I used on that one. We're going to weld it on, inside, internally, and on.